Did you ever attend the Lyricist Lounge stuff back in the day?
Of course, that's where I got started.
What was that like? Because I remember I bought the Lyricist Lounge double disc that came in the cardboard sleeve, and then there was the one that had the Oh No on it, which I think was 2 or 3. But then there was the TV show, which was way ahead of its time, right? It was super ahead of its time because I think about how big Wildin' Out is. That was kind of the first inclination of that. But Lyricist Lounge originally was like, was it a monthly event, or how often were they doing Lyricist Lounges in New York?
It varied, man. It could have been every week.
What was that
month.
like though? And like, what were the other MCs that you were brushing shoulders with at Lyricist Lounge?
It was full of hungry MCs that when you showed up, you got to rhyme. Everybody's rhyming. Fuck the stage. We could be outside. The cypher will go on all night outside. Right. It goes on in the bathroom. That's where niggas went to really sharpen their shit and see what you was, I met Danny Castro from the Lyricist Lounge at an ASCAP event where they were playing demos, and they played my demo. And I remember when one of my songs came out, the crowd went crazy in a fucking listening party. So he approached me to perform. I've never performed on stage ever in my life.
Wow.
So when Danny invited me, that was the first show I ever did. I went to a Lyricist Lounge showcase. I performed along with Master Fool, and shut it down. For my first show ever, that shit appeared in like 20, 30 magazines, the photo that said what happened that night. But I also was a part of the TV show. When we were recording the Lyricist Lounge album, we would get into ciphers even in the studio, attacking each other in rhyme form. And that's how they got the idea for the TV show, because we carried our conversations that way. And they was like, hey, that shit is genius. You know, it was myself, Wordsworth, who's a beast with it.
Yeah.
AL Skills was involved. So just the way we were interacting and they were filming, they got the ideas for the show. And then, the rest was history.
Yeah, that show, man, I feel like maybe 5-7 years too early. Because I think, man, Lyricist Lounge would have went crazy in, 2012 or something, 2010. I just feel like, because I watched Wildin' Out, and I'm like, Wildin' Out's really it's really like a battling show.
Yeah.
It's mixed with comedy, it's mixed with, but it's, really, it's kind of dope, because it's kind of the rawest form of, punchlines.
The Lyricist Lounge show was theatrical.
Super theatrical.
There was a lot of makeup involved, costumes, and that's what I love. Hey, don't be surprised if you see another version.
It was the Lyricist Lounge is the show for people who never saw it. It was kind of like if you mix Dave Chappelle and Wildin' Out together.
Yep.
Chappelle show and Wildin' Out together.
You know what's crazy? Some of our writers on the Lyricist Lounge show were actually the writers from In Living Color.
Oh wow.
That we had behind the scenes, man. So, and it was tremendous fun doing that show, because same thing. We go fucking film, write all day, and then we rented houses and lived together.
Right.
When we get back home, motherfuckers is going at it all night, rhyming, attacking, just ciphers. So it was a beautiful time, man.
You were super close with Juice, right? J.U. Ice.
I just went to see Juice yesterday. I didn't even know he was in Cali, man.
What's crazy is, when I first got Napster, when the Napster wave happened, so my best friend's brother's in Dilated Peoples. Wow. So when I was a kid, I was around them a lot, like Rocka and Evidence and those guys. But I saw Supernatural open up one of their shows, and it fucking blew my mind. It's the craziest shit I ever saw as a 12-year-old kid watching Supernat spin around and turn into Busta Rhymes and take people's IDs. And fucking insane. But I remember, one of the first things I downloaded the Big L Jay-Z 7-minute freestyle on Napster, and then I downloaded the Juice Supernatural Battle, whatever one I downloaded on Napster. But then I discovered Juice, and I was like, damn, this dude is fucking mean. It's crazy that there's, this pocket of, MCs that in the grand scheme of, where we consider, the greatest, right? Just for whatever reason, don't get their flowers. Juice is one of those guys.
Well, those flowers are coming, man, because we all united right now. Juice, Supernatural, me, and we got a lot of things planned, man. So it's I always seen MCs like that with those level of skill sets as forever. They're the lifers, Yeah, maybe they don't have the promotions or the label deals, but they skill set keeps them relevant forever. Like I just brought Supernat out recently to do a show in Orlando. Orlando never seen anything like that.
If you've never seen him before and you see him, you're just like...
Never seen anything like that. I'm sure and that's what I try to incorporate in like the functions and the shows we do. We bring out not the popular motherfuckers, the most skilled motherfuckers you can imagine.
And then they could also just entertain you at a show. Like this is if you are watching Supernat do what he does, you are dialed in live. You're just like, what is happening? This is insane.
And it's crazy because they both my friends, right? They both people that I would stay at their house. They would come to my house. We rhyme forever, and then they battle, right? So everybody always asks me who's better, who didn't. And I'm like, listen, both of them are the greatest I've ever seen. You know what I mean?
I think the one I had, it felt like Juice won the battle that I had on CD.
Everybody has a different, perception of it.
And that's what, because I didn't download that battle for Juice. I just searched up Supernatural Freestyle and hit download, and I was like, who's this other guy? This is crazy. Like,
well, my job is to have them together. So you see how dangerous they are alone? Imagine together.
Give me, because obviously you were a part of the Rap Olympics, right?
Yep.
Which were, for people who don't know, very pivotal to a lot of people's careers. But I mean, specifically, we always hear, Eminem is synonymous with the Rap Olympics and his kind of a part of his story. And you were a part of his team when you did the Rap Olympics, right? Mm-hmm. Who'd you guys go against? Was it, I
believe it was Project Blow.
Out of LA?
Yep. I believe they were the only ones that showed up. There was a long roster of teams that were supposed to be there from like every popular rap group that was out. Fugees was supposed to have a team. There was, different representatives
different
from
crews.
Yep.
Yeah.
And nobody showed up. Everybody on my team was a master in freestyling off the head.
Right.
Juice, Eminem, myself, Wordsworth, Quest the Mad Lad. Like, sit in the room with us and you will fucking get blown. Even Craig G was out there hanging out with us, like staying with us and things like that. So, but it was a big moment, man.
I was going to say, like, for you, like, I just remember Eminem being a real backpack rapper, I guess, back then. If you knew about him, you knew about him. But he was definitively like an underground guy. Like he was on Sound Bombing too. He did the Any Man record. He obviously Bad vs. Evil with him and or Bad Meets Evil with him and Royce. And he was definitely like shit. I wouldn't say no different, but like there was guys like him, Classified. There was guys like in that kind of like, the white boy rapper who could spit like crazy. And then it was just like a switch got flipped. And it's the Dr. Dre switch, of course. But like, how crazy was that for you to kind of see a peer just go from like, hey, I'm battling with this dude in the cypher and he's doing the MTV VMAs and he's an absolute superstar. And it's not like Eminem was like a lyrical rapper.
Yeah.
Like he was like
super
a lyrical, miracle, spiritual dude. So like, if you heard his records prior to him getting with Dre, you would never think like he was even capable of making crossover records.
I always believed it
but his talent level was just so crazy. What was that like?
Being around M, man, it's like I knew he was destined. I knew because his talent blew everyone away. We had a big mutual respect for what we both were able to do. Now, I knew at any moment something was going to happen for him. And he was really the actual factual truth. I always, when I credit anyone or anybody in the industry, I base everything off skills first. You know what I mean?
Most important, that's how
for me, it's skills first.
Right.
I don't care about nothing else. He had the skills to take it there. You know what I mean? Sure. So, but, I was around several artists and I seen them blow up. I seen Mos and Kweli, I seen that shit. As far as my peers are concerned, I seen them take off. I seen so many others. And all it did was give me hope. It showed me that it's possible. To see the level that M got it to, I'm like, I'm next, I'm coming. And even to this day where I've never had a situation, I've never had a record deal, I've never had any of that. But I always knew if I stay in it to win it and I stay consistent, my day is gonna eventually come. And that's everybody's thing. As long as you put in the work, you will eventually reach that motherfucking status that way. Even if I had to do it myself, and which I did. But this is not even the end. I feel like this is not even the beginning.